Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you how to make this beautiful earring. This was made with these beautiful 6mm chatons that we got in our Curiosity box number 3, Venice, from John Bead. So big thank you to John Bead for sending me one of these boxes. I have been going crazy. I am just in love with it. So at the beginning, I did these bezeled chatons. So we got, I think, 14 or 16 of them. So there is a video out there on how to bezel your chaton. So go ahead and take a look at that. Now I'm going to show you how to embellish it to create this beautiful earring. I'm just looking at this. Some of these crystals, when I was doing them, did not sit perfectly level, and they get loose a bit. So I'm just making sure that this one's not coming apart. So yeah, that looks fine. So that's the back of it there. So let's take a look. I feel like I need more light, but we'll see. Okay, so let's get started. I have my the necklace too, because I took the chatons, and if you haven't seen there's 2 other videos. So there's a video showing you how to bezel the chaton, and then we took the chatons and made a bracelet, which is this section here is a bracelet, and this is the clasp for the bracelet. But what we did was, these were so lovely. I wanted to make a necklace with it, and I love these rice beads. So I wanted to really include a bunch of the rice beads in that. So what I did was I put 2 clasps. So if you take a look, this clasp is the second side to this part here. So the fold over part and the flower part. So once you open this and this, these 2 attach into your bracelet, to a regular size bracelet. But then if you attach this section here, you have a lovely necklace. So yeah, I wanted to show that off and show off these lovely bezeled chatons. They're just gorgeous. So let's go ahead and get the things we need. You're going to need some ear wires. I'm using these here, and if you go back to some of my unboxings of findings, you'll find these, and there should be a link for them. Yeah, one thing I want to point out with these ones is these are actually closed jump ring or loops at the bottom of this. Normally, I like to attach my finished earring with jump rings so that if it ever needs to be repaired, I can just open the jump ring. I don't want to stitch it right on to the ear wire, but I decided to keep this one that way because the orientation of the loop is correct to add it on to have your beads facing forward, or your earring facing forward. So if you do want to attach jump rings, you'll have to attach 2 jump rings so that you get the correct orientation. So I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to point that out because it might be a bit confusing to some people. I mean, to most people, unless you do this all the time. So yeah, so you need your ear wires. So we'll put that at the end. I did decide to put an embellishment of these gorgeous Swarovski drops with the top drill in it, and they are gorgeous. If you don't have something like this, you can take a charm and attach it. Some of those sweet petite charms that I got from John Bead. So something like this you can attach to the bottom, and you can get these at Michael's. So something like this. So instead of that drop. You could do something like that. Would look lovely. Or you could put a big pearl, or if you have any type of crystal that you want to add at the bottom, maybe a large bicone, a 6 or an 8mm bicone, you can attach as well. So if you don't have these, I think they're chandelier drops or something they're called. So let's take a look at the other stuff. I'll try and hurry. I'm like, can you tell I like to talk? Oh, let's see what else I have in my little goodie tray. I am using 5 bicones, and you're like, Emma, there's only 4. Wait till you see what I did. It's my pet peeve. Just gonna say ahead of time. So, of course, you can only see 4 bicones there. I put a bicone at the back of the earring where the pearls, if you take a look at this one, you can see the chaton. It doesn't matter. You're like, this doesn't look like, if you're this close to somebody's ear, then you probably know a lot more about them than we want to know. So I just covered it with the thing. I kind of wanted to make it so that it was two-sided as well, but because of the way you don't have the double jump rings to flip it if you want, but if it turns, if you see the back, then you're not gonna see just the straight up pearls like that. So you don't have to do that. You can put anything on there too. You can put one of these, let me put these out here, one of these 3mm, let me put it on a needle, be easier to see. These are 3mm drucks. So you could put that at the back as well. That would look lovely. If you don't have 3mm drucks, you can use an 8/0 seed bead in place, and that works as well in these areas here. So you can do all that. So I have let me get you the color. This one is Aztec gold, and this one is brass gold. So let's put some brass gold out, and I'm using 15/0 seed beads for this. So let's just put that there. I think we need 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, there's 4. Move these back in. Okay, put those aside. I'm using a size 12 needle, and I'm using this lovely Miyuki thread that Carmi sent me from John Bead. You don't need a full wingspan. We'll take a fair amount though. Okay, and I stretch my thread, and it kind of gets the curls out too, so it doesn't get twisted and knotted. There. And just put that on. So let's get this guy. I'm going to go to the back to start, and I'm just going to come through one of the pearls here. Now remember, when we did these, we had a knot in, so just be aware that you're going to be coming up against a knot. Not a big deal with a size 12 needle and this fine thread. It shouldn't be an issue, but just be aware. So I'm going to go through the first pearl, and I'm going to pull it through. I'm going to leave a bit of tail just to cut off, like to hang on to right now. I'm going to go through this 11/0. Oops. that didn't do what I wanted to do. The thread came out of the pearl. So let's go through this again. It doesn't matter the orientation at this point. Let's hang on to that one now. So I'm going to go through this 11-0 and I'm going to put a knot is what I'm getting at. So we can just grab the thread bridge. Careful not to move your beads around too much. And 1 and 2. I'm going to put my thumb on that and pull that through. And I'm going to pull on both ends. So that's going to tighten that knot without pulling it forward into the pearl so that it's not jammed in there. So now I can cut this tail off. That's all I needed it for, to hang on to. You can keep it on there if you want, if it helps you to hang on to things. So we can start by adding the bicone at the back. So we're going to pick up, I think I put 2 seed beads. Yeah, I did. So let's look at that, 2. I think I'm going to tilt this just to be safe so I don't go out of frame here. There we go, 2 15-0s, a bicone, and these are 4mm bicones. These are the same bicones that I used in the, I have one here, okay. I was like, I meant to have things out. This is one of the other bracelets we made with the lovely beads from the Curiosity box. So these crystals are metallic blue, crystal metallic blue ×2. So I had some left over to add to this project. So now I'm going to go straight across. We're coming out of this 11-0. I'm going to go straight across to the other 11-0 like this. Go in and pull that in. You don't have to pull it tight because we're going to go through it again. So you're coming out of this 11-0. We're going to go through the 15-0, the bicone, and the other 2 15-0s like that. And like I said, doesn't matter. It's getting loose. It's not a big deal. Like that. And now I'm going to come to the other side of that 11-0. And that's going to secure it in the middle on each side. There. And that's done for that part. Gonna, there. Now let's double check where we need to go. We'll place our needle in the right spot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add these brass gold. Where am I here? Yeah, right here. Let me point with my scissors. The brass gold, the Aztec gold, brass gold. So we want to be coming out of one of the pearls, and we're going to do a loop like this. And we're going to do that all the way around. So let's go through a pearl like that. There. Where am I here? Try and hold that so you can see. So now you're going to pick up a 15-0, a brass gold, a 15-0. Let me double check if I did, how many I did on those. Yeah, 1 in between each. A 15-0, another brass gold, and a 15-0. So that's what you need on your needle. 15-0 right there. Brass, Aztec, brass, 15-0 with the other 15-0s there. So now you're coming out of this pearl. You're going to go to the other side of the pearl. Find the hole. Find the hole. And just wiggling my needle around. I don't want to poke my needle through the thread that's already in there. And go through like that. I just pull it through so that it's in place. I'm not pulling it through tight. Now I'm going to go to the next purl and come out the other side of that purl. So go through the 11-0. There must be a knot in this. There we go. That. I might need my pliers. It's not that it's tight, it's just it's the needle slippery. And I don't want to yank too hard. There we go. There, snug. Okay, 15-0, brass gold, 15-0, Aztec gold. I think Aztec gold's one of my favorite golds, by the way. In case you're wondering. It's very elegant looking to me. And a 15-0. We're going to come back around on the other side of that purl and go through. And pull it through. And you can turn it around too if you want. Like that's what we're doing here. But I like to see the purl that I'm going through. So go through the 11-0, go through the next purl. There. Pick up a 15-0, a brass, a 15-0, an Aztec, 15-0, a brass, and a 15-0. We're going to go through just the purl, not the 11-0. This Miyuki thread is so fine that even with a size 12 needle, I find it slides out of my, and it's nice and slippery. So it's great for going through your beads. But you have to keep an eye. It slides off the needle a lot. But it's super easy to thread, so it's not that big a deal. So there's, go through this 11-0, through this last purl. And like a lot of designs like this, I find at any point you can say, okay, that's good. That's as far as I want to go with this. But then you run into Emma and she's like, let me see how many beads I can put on one project. I just want to show off all my beads. So I struggle with that. The same thing as you probably do is knowing when to stop, when it looks good or when you need to add something. So now go back around to the other side of that purl. And there we go. And that's what it looks like. So this is what I was saying. At this point, you could finish here, bring your thread up to this bead here, and attach it to your ear wire like that. And that would be lovely, just like that. But you know me, I wasn't done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the bicone. So let me think. We need to come out of one of the 15-0s at the edge here to go across. And we're going to put, I think I put 3 on each edge. No, 2 there. 2 there. Yeah, 2 15-0s. So let's go back around here and let's go through this 11-0. Through this 11-0. That. And what I want to be coming out of is one of these 15-0s from the top bead or from the Aztec gold. But I want to, because we just finished adding this, I want to kind of make a circle back around just to anchor that thread. So I'm going to go through the next purl. And I'm going to go up. So here's my thinking with that too, is I like to go, if I'm adding stuff, I like to come out of one of the bigger beads. So by doing this, I will be kind of anchoring my thread in the Aztec gold bead. Let's just break this through. Okay, so now let's, let me think about this for a sec, because we are going to add another bead in between. We actually need to be coming up. I'm glad I checked that. We need to be coming out of one of the brass gold, and just the brass gold. Okay, and then we're going to go down this one. The reason being is the thread's going to, your beads are going to sit here and go across. There's going to be a little space here. We're going to come through again and add a bead, and it gives it structure and like tension. So pick up 2 15-0s, a bicone, 2 more 15-0s. So that's what you have. You're going to come across this one here. I don't know, that doesn't look right. Let me double check this. I just made this design like before lunch, so I'm like, okay, what did I do? I knew when I did it that I needed to pay attention. Pay attention, Emma. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so now we're coming down here. We're going to go through the purl at the bottom, the 4mm purl. There. And we're going to come up. There's multiple ways to get these beads on there and where to put them and stuff like that. So, you know, I do my best to show you which way I think will be the most structural way to do it, but you can always put it on. There's often a way to do it straight across rather than doing a lot of the turning through the beads. So I'm going to come across to this gold one. So if you look, I'm coming out of the brass gold. I've got 2 15-0s, a bicone, 2 15-0s. I'm coming through the next brass gold in line there, like that. I'm going to go through the 15-0 there, and then I'm going to go through the purl. Okay, I'm going to do this separately here, like that, and then go through the purl. There we go. There. Now go up the 15 and up the brass gold. There, like that. Pick up 2 50-nos, a bicone, 2 50-nos. So like that. Coming out of this brass bead, you're going to go to the next brass bead, and you're going to come down through that. And you can grab a hold of the 50-no next to it if your needle will go through. Like that. Pull that in. And you can see how this is starting to come together. Okay, I'm going to go through my pearl at the bottom, the 4mm pearl, so I can get to the next brass bead. Go through the 15 at the base of it, then the next, just the brass druck. And you can pull it tight at that point. Doesn't have to be super tight, but you do want it to hold itself up. Pick up 2 50-nos, your final bicone, 4mm bicone, 2 50-nos. So that's what you have. You're coming out of this brass druck. You're going to go down the next one. And you can pick up that 50-no pearl, 50-no seed bead at the same time. So this is what I was saying. There's a space here. We're going to go around, we're going to reinforce everything, and we're going to add a seed bead at those spaces. So, for the sake of, doing a loop and following the thread, I'm going to go through the 4mm seed bead here at the base of these that I just added. Like that. And that will lock it in as well. So just pull it snug. And we're going to go up the 50-no, the druck. I'm pausing as I think. I'm always thinking. Okay, so we want to attach a bead in between these sections. So to do that, we could potentially put one here, but we'd have to pass through it again because it wouldn't be connected to this side. So I'm going to skip that, go right through to I added on. The 50-nos, the bicone, the 50-nos. Now I'm going to come around and add a 50-no in those little spaces. So we're just going to add one 50-no. Go pass through a 50-no, the Aztec gold, and the next 50-no. Like that. Pick up another 50-no and go through the 50-nos and the bicone and the next 50-no. But you know what? It's on an angle, so I'll just grab what I can there. We'll have to pass through one more. And as you're going, you can always tighten those. So we need to pick up one more 50-no here. There. 50-no. Go through the 50-no, the Aztec gold, the 50-no. It's super, this is super tiny. And I kind of like super tiny. That's why I took the 50-no beads. But you can do this with the 11-nos too. It will just be slightly bigger. So I'm going to grab up. I've added a 50-no And I'm going through the next 15 O's by the bicone, like that. And go through the bicone. And the next two 15 O's. Like that. Another 15 O. And go through the Aztec gold and the 15 O's. That. Pick up one 15 O. And go through two 15 O's, the bicone. My thread's coming out. Go through the next two 15 O's, and this will be our final add-on. And go through the 15 O. Oh no, there's another one there missing. So this one's looking, if you look, this looks a little rounded compared to this one here. So it's possible I put a little too much tightness. So just to pull out your corners to get a little more diamond shape. So there, like that. And do I have a 15 O on there? Nope. Last 15 O. Go through two 15 O's and the bicone. And that's what we have. So now this is the front side. So there, it's almost done. Again, at this point, you don't have to put your little chandelier drop. You can always, this is your earring, it's done. Or you can put a pearl there, that would look beautiful. So lots of options. So to add this, I am going to add a 15 O, 15 O Aztec gold, 15 O, and I'm going to go through the drop, this, then pick up a 15 O and another Aztec gold druck and a 15 O, like that. So you have one on this side, one on this side of those, and we're just going to go through the bicone like this. That. We're going to go through it a second time just to make sure it's nice and secure. Go through everything. You can pull it snug, or you can leave it a bit loose so that it dangles and moves. You'll see what I mean in a second. So you can leave it like that so it's nice and loose, or you can, you know, get it snug so you see it's a little more rigid. And then we're going to go back up. We're going to come up to this here so we can add basically a little crisscross with a druck on the top. So let's go through. I'm going to go through everything. I'm just going to make my way up to the bicone at the other side. So go through this bicone. Let me do it this way. Go through the bicone. Went through the one bead there. Oh, my thread came off. I tend to hold the folded part of the thread like this in my hand when I'm sewing, but sometimes I forget. So continue going till we get to the other side of this bicone. Okay. Go through all of these. Then come across to this bicone. There. So we're going to add 3 50-nos. Then a Aztec gold druck. I put here 2 or 3 at the top. 3. 1, 2, 3, like that. Now we're going to go through our ear wire because it's closed, so you have to go through. You can make this open by clipping it, but it's super tiny. You'd probably end up damaging it. So remember to take a look at what side you're working on. So this is the back side. We want this on the front. So flip your work over. Position your ear wire in the position that you want. So you're going to make sure you're coming in from the right side. So we're on the right side of the bicone. We're going to go into the right side of the ear wire with our seed beads and larger bead there. Now I'm going to add 3 50-nos, and I'm going to go through just the druck like that. And Jen just came home, so you might hear her. She's going to tell me the big news. She came from the dentist. There's no news. No cavities. So pick up 3. And this is the end. What we're going to do is we're going to go on the left side of that bicone. Like this. Go to the left side. And
go to the left. Go to the left.
I told you you'd hear her coming in. Just 1 second, honey. I'm just at the end.
I live here too, remember?
So that's what you need to do. So now we're just going to go through that a few more times just to reinforce this and to bring these a little more snug than that. So you can come back through and add a seed bead here and on the other side, but I kind of like it this way. I feel like it's not like covering the bicone. It's more of just hanging from the bicone. Yeah, it's just kind of finicky stuff I like to do. So let me make sure I've got this on the right side here. So go through, don't forget to go through your ear wire again, like that. And then we'll go down. Through the 50-nos. Through the druck. And you can do, like I'm doing a figure 8, but you can do straight up one side, come around, do the other side. Something like that. I'm gonna go through one more time. Make sure that's secure. This thread, I'm sure, is very strong. So let's go through these guys. Through the druck. I'm gonna go through everything. that went through the ear wire, so that's good. And then come down this side and tie it off. So let's come through, come out on this side here. Like that. And put this back on. Super easy to thread. Like it could be a little annoying when it comes out like that, but the fact that it's so easy to thread back on is not a big deal. I thought I might have. So I'm just going through those last two 50 no's. I'm going to go through this bicone down through the next seed beads, and I'm going to tie a knot and hide my tail inside the pearl or the druck. So 1, 2, and pull that through. That, go through here, and we are done. There, cut that off. And now we have these lovely earrings to go with all our lovely designs that we did in this incredible bead box that we got from John Bead. So thank you everyone, and thank you to John Bead for these lovely, delicious things. Take care everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.